Hey guys, in today's video I want to talk about bankroll management. It seems like a lot of people are still struggling with it, so let me give you my 2 cents on it. So first of all, there's no right answer. First question you have to ask yourself is, how much money do you want to start with? Do you want to start with a $100 deposit or do you want to start with a $10,000 deposit? I cannot answer that question for you, it really depends on your own situation. How much money are you comfortable losing? So if you have answered that question for yourself, then the second question is it the last money you want to invest in poker, or would you be fine reloading? If you're fine reloading, you can be probably a little bit more aggressive if you bankroll management, while if it's really your last $100 that you want to invest in poker, then you gotta be more on the conservative side. What I mean with aggressive and conservative is the amount of buy-ins that you use for your bankroll management. For example, if you have $100, you do not want to play one $100 tournament because you're only gonna get into the money like 20% of the time, which means 80% of the time you're gonna go busto. You also do not even want to have 10 buy-ins. I find an aggressive bankroll management more leaning towards 100 buy-ins. I know that everyone says the minimum amount of buy-ins that you want to have is 100 buy-ins, but if I look at myself, I very often see myself going on a 20 to 30 buy-in downswing. It might be because I just suck, but it may also be variance. So even if you go for an aggressive approach, I would at least recommend 100 buy-ins. But me personally, I like to be a little bit more conservative with my bankroll, so I would lean more towards like 400 or even 500 buy-ins. But that is also because I do not have that much steady income on the side. I gotta be a little bit more careful with my money, because if I lose it, I will not regain it that quickly. Which is probably the case for most professional poker players. But it is not only dependent on if you have steady income or not. It also depends on what kind of format of poker you play. If you, for example, play regular speed sit and goes, which only have like, I don't know, 9 runners, then the variance is way lower than when you, for example, play an hyper MTT where the blinds go up way quicker, which has 6,000 runners. Another big variable is, of course, your skill. If your skill is pretty low, you will go on much bigger downswings than when your skill is really high. That's just because if you're better at the game, you will just gain more chips, and when you gain more chips, it's just way more likely you're gonna win. But when you start with a $100 bankroll, I completely understand that you cannot stick to a $400 to $500 bankroll management rule. This is just because there is not enough supply. So when I started with a $200 deposit, I actually played tournaments up to $4. But for every $4 tournament that I played 6 50-cent sit and goes. So my average buy-in was actually more leaning towards the $1. And also, like I explained in the sit and goes versus MTT's video, I will put the link down below. Sit and goes are a great way to improve your game, but also because the variance is so much lower, they are a great way to build your bankroll. But the example of the average buy-in rule with the $100, you can also apply when your bankroll is bigger. But please be careful, because what happens very often is when people start to build a bankroll and they build it, for example, up to 10k, and they start playing really high stakes, start to play those $100 buy-ins, you may get crushed. You know, just because you beat the lower stakes doesn't necessarily mean you beat the highest stakes. Just because you have the money, just because you have the bankroll, doesn't necessarily mean you should play those stakes. And I think that is a huge misunderstanding. If I look at my own situation, I'm first of all really passive on bankroll management. Not just because there's less risk of going broke, but also because I'm not that confident yet that I beat the 100 buy-ins, because I beat the $55 buy-ins. I may, but I'm not comfortable there yet. I first want to prove myself that I can beat the $10 buy-ins, that I can beat the $20 buy-ins. Once I've proven to myself that I beat those $10 and $20 buy-ins, I can move up to $55. But then also, when that doesn't work out, I've got full confidence in dropping back because I know I will be making money there. And that is so important, being able to fall back onto something. So, short recap guys, if you don't want to reload or you do not have the option to reload, you want to be a little bit more conservative with your bankroll management so you don't go busto. When your bankroll is still small, you want to play some sit and goes to lower your average buy-in, to lower the variance and to improve your skills. Once your bankroll starts to grow, it doesn't necessarily mean you also have to move up in buy-ins. First, prove to yourself that you're currently beating the stakes that you were playing. Don't let others influence your bankroll management. Be aware of what games you are playing. Some games just have higher variance than others. Be honest with yourself how good you are as a player. The worse you are as a player, the higher your variance is. The higher your variance is, the more likely it is you are gonna go bust though. So the more conservative you want to be with your bankroll management. But please, don't get overexcited guys. Once the bankroll starts to grow, don't listen to the people around you who tell you you are a nit of not moving up. Don't listen to them. Do what is the best for you. Do what makes you comfortable. Do what makes you think that sets you up the best to succeed. And only you can decide that. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Please let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any questions. Leave a like if you liked the video. Be sure to subscribe and I'd love to see you guys in the next video.